Hi, this is Tracy Clark, and I'm here to give you some information about my updated graded policy for my Introduction to Manufacturing class. Recently, you may have seen an announcement through Parent Square from Ceres Unified School District about a new grading policy that is being implemented as of semester 2 at the high school level. What I've decided to do is to adopt this grading policy a little early so that my semester 1 students can take advantage of the opportunities provided by this new distance learning grading policy. Here's what a little bit behind that change. If you take a look at past grading policy, it's a 0 to 100% scale. This is a traditional grading scale. It's been used for a very long time in education. As you can see from this pie chart, the disadvantage of this scale is that 0 to 59 points gets a student an F, and only 60 to 100 points gets them a passing grade. This is an inequitable grading scale based on the fact that students are much more likely or have many more opportunities to earn an F than they do any other grade. Here's another way to look at it. If you think of that grades as a sort of mountain that students are climbing, and let's say you're this student here in the middle, at the beginning of the year, you start out in the middle of the pack, but if you make some mistakes, you can find that very quickly you wind up below 50%. And once a student is below 50%, it can be very daunting and challenging for them to dig themselves out of that hole. The whole expression, digging yourself out of a hole, I think summarizes it. It's very hard for students to earn enough points to get back up into the passing range, much less an A or a B range. So what if we amend this grading scale to make the lowest possible score 50% instead of 0%? That's what the new board policy does. Basically, it establishes a policy in which the lowest score any student can earn is 50% of the total value of the assignment. 50% of that value is still an F, and an F is still a failing grade, and a student still will not receive passing credit for that class if they earn an F. But what it prevents is from them to dig themselves a terribly deep hole from which they can never return. If you take a look at the Parent Square announcement, you can take a look at the explanation of the policy. There's an infographic attached that talks about all of these things. So please feel free to go ahead and take a look at that. I'll be linking it to this announcement as well. The new policy, as you can see from this new pie chart, makes a much more equitable grading situation. Each student has an equal opportunity to earn an F as they do any other grade. So what I've been talking with my students about is what do letter grades actually mean in this class? And we took a look at this chart together. If a student earns a 7, 8, 9, or 10, they have less work to do than if they've earned a 5 or a 6. Most of my assignments are out of 10 points. Right? A 9 or a 10 is excellent work, and there are no further steps required of the student. If a student receives an 8, that signifies to them that they have done good work and that they can improve, and they're encouraged to improve, but they don't have to. If a student receives a 7, that's saying that they've done satisfactory work. It could be better, but if they want to keep their satisfactory score, that's up to them. I am encouraging students with a 7 to go back and take a look at my comments. I definitely leave comments for students regarding their work. So if they have a 7, they should be able to go into Google Classroom or into their actual Google document and take a look at the comments, or even my 10-year plan, I can leave comments in there as well for them to tell them how they can improve their score so that they can earn an 8, 9, or 10 score. If a student receives a 6, that is what's considered to be a minimal pass, and they definitely need to go back and revise their work for improved credit. My target grade is a 7. A C is the lowest grade anybody should be getting in this class. I definitely leave comments for students if they get a 6 or a 5 or a 7. So if a student gets a 5, that means that either they have not submitted their assignment or they need to revise their work for improved credit. Either way, the student who looks at their assignment will see an MI for their score. That means that they have not received an assignment, but you'll notice that an MI is associated with 50% credit. If they have a 5 and it's marked incomplete, then they need to go in and look at the comments I've left them and revise their work for improved credit. Here is a little picture of what it looks like if you look at a Google Classroom assignment and a student has received a grade of 5 to 7. I have left them comments like this assignment was supposed to have a section addressing the word innovation, and then encouraging them, you may correct your poster and resubmit it for an improved grade, and giving them a timeline in which to do that. Okay? They may have just they've missed some of the instructions. I have a weekly planner check that students do. They need to show me their whole week. The student only showed me part of their week. And then here's an example down here of what my 10-year plan looks like, where I leave them comments. And you can see I have left them specific comments on what they need to do to improve their score. If a student turns in late work or corrects work, revises it for better points, then they need to submit a Google late work form. And the late work form is found in the classwork tab of their Google Classroom. It is always here. It's the second thing on the classwork tab. This learning resources topic is always at the very top. So the late or absent redone work form will always be right here, the second thing on that page. To look at their current assignments, they would need to scroll down even farther. All right, this form is vital. This form is how students communicate to me that they have turned something in. If a student turns something in and does not submit a Google late work form, then I don't know that they've turned it in. I don't have a way to know that I need to go and look for their work. So sometimes students try to email me, but my email fills up very quickly every day and emails get lost. That's why I made the Google late work form, because the Google late work form records what time they did it. It's all in one place. I don't have to go hunting through other emails to go and look for it. So I really need students to turn in the Google late work form. Also, I need students to remember to click submit if they have revised assignments. So if I have returned an assignment to them, left them a comment, and then they've gone in and made corrections, they need to click submit again and resubmit that assignment to Google Classroom. That'll be another thing that lets me know that it's there. If they don't click submit, then it stays in the already graded section. It doesn't move back up into the, hey, Mrs. Clark, you need to grade this section. So there's two things they need to do. They need to submit the Google late work form. That is the most important thing. Even if they forget to click submit again, but they've sent in a Google late work form, I'll know to go and look for it. And I'll go hunting for it in the graded section. If they forget to submit the Google form, but they have re-clicked submit on Google Classroom, there's a chance that I might notice it if I go into that assignment looking for someone else's work. So that's why I'm advising them to do both things here. Okay, so for the rest of the fall semester, I am unable to use the missing flag. I have been using the missing flag all along so far this year, but unfortunately, the gradebook program has tied that missing flag to a score of 0, and there are no more scores of 0% in this class. The lowest score a student can earn is 50%. So I'm unable to use the missing flag. So what I'm going to be doing when I enter grades is I'm going to be marking assignments as turned in when they're turned in. If a student turns in their work, but it's incomplete and needs revision, or if it just needs revision, then I will mark turned in and incomplete in the gradebook. If a student does not turn in the assignment, I will mark it incomplete. I will not be selecting the turned in flag because they haven't turned anything in. And I've been able to create a new score called MI, which stands for missing. And as you can see here, I've awarded an MI for this assignment, and it gives that student 50% of their grade so that it's automatically adhering to the scoring, and it's easy for you to look at and see. If it doesn't have a number, if it has an MI, that means it's missing. Unfortunately, where this missing flag would usually have showed up, I'm not able to use that for the rest of this semester. In second semester, I believe that will be changed so that missing automatically scores students for 50%. But because this semester students have the option of either taking up this new board policy or not, they're not able to change that missing because it would change for everybody. So I have made my own mark called MI, and it automatically awards your student 50%. So that little box that you could tick that said, show me missing assignments is not going to be functional for this class for the rest of the semester. You're going to have to actually scroll through the assignments and look for the MIs. I'm sending out this flyer. Likely I sent it out with this video. So it's kind of just a summary sheet for you. If you have questions about it, please feel free to contact me. I hope that this video was helpful for you and have a pleasant day.